What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brennan and I'm BManX45, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have a market analysis for the Digimon TCG. It is the Friday before the first regionals of 2024. I'll be participating in that tomorrow morning. I just want to go through some general, information about cards that I think are gonna maybe change depending on how things go with the regionals, as well as just some general information on how things are going, like tournament cards that have come out. And hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. Without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to talk about the Spring Break Tournament kit right now. You have the winner pack, the Double Typhoon right here, sitting at about $54. It was up at $200 when it came out. Huge decrease, but it's still going for quite a bit. So, I mean, if you have your copies and you're not interested in this deck, I would sell those now. It's probably going to fall a little bit more. I mean, the drastic fall, it's fallen 75% of its initial value when it was first listed. Same with your packs. If you're not keeping these, I would sell them right now. Now this has continued to decline. We could, if this deck does do good at regionals, we could see this card go up. Maybe the Lotmons, but most likely just the Terriermon. Terriermon's held the most value. Originally, each card was around $30. 40 for the Terriermon, 30 to 35 for the other ones, at a total pack value of $100. It quickly dropped overnight. That was on Saturday and Saturday night. Quickly dropped during the day, $10 every couple hours until we got, as people posted more listings, until we got down to kind of, I was holding around 25. I managed to sell some for 50, some for 25, and later on I managed to sell a lot more for 15. I think I have one left, and a guy wanted me to go lower than 15, and that was a day ago when this was up at $8. This was still around 4 or 5, and then this was around 5. So I mean, it was still $20 value, and I was selling it for 15. But it has come down, but it's still gonna be like, I round up. I don't know how everyone else does it, but I don't deal with cents, so I round up or down. If it's over 50 cents, I round up. If it's under 50 cents, I round down. So, math, right? So that's $7 to me. That's $4, and that's $3. So that's $14. So that's still $14 value in the pack. So I could sell it for 15, or I could sell it for 14. But most people want these for 8, and it's kind of like if you get it for 8, the person's ripping themselves off, because they can still make a little bit of money on this. So I think people need to calm down, because this Terriermon's going to hold value just like the Gabumon from the December pack did. That guy was around $5 to $7 at its lowest, at 8 or 9 for a long time, and it's still maintained quite a decent value. So I think that they might fall a little bit more, but if this deck does well, these two at least will see an increase. So might be the right time to get them. Going into decks I think are going to do well in the tournament, we have Leviamon again here. He's kind of slowed down and steadied out right here, around that 26 to $28 mark. Lots of listings, so I don't see him going up unless there is a buyout. He is a top contender for the regionals. He's going to be the new thing to beat, so you got to watch out for that. And then, of course, his upper form, Leviamon X-Antibody, scary as all hell. He's still maintaining a $35 value. It has slowly kind of gone down, but he's really not too far out of the ballpark to where it was at pre-release. So, I mean, yeah. And again, there's tons of listings. So unless there's a huge, massive buyout, I don't see this going up anytime soon. So maybe it might be the right time to buy this, because especially if this does good at the tournament. And then, of course, other cards for purple. We talked about the Gabumon, and still look, he just sold for $5 on 4 of them on the 15th. And that started to climb a little bit. So we saw the low of 3 kind of thing like that way back in January, but it's climbed up and gone down and climbed up a little bit. So, and you know, your first copy there is about $4. We got shipping too, so free shipping over orders over $5. But yeah, you $3.50, and then that one's funny right there. But then you start going up to $4, and it could go up real quick. So still a good card. And that, honestly, that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's not even that great of an art. I'd much rather play the regular one, and that's like $2 to $3 still. Lugamon deck I'm playing, still expensive alternate cards, and I didn't pull up a tab for Lugarmon, the one from the championship. Maybe I'll do that. So Lugamon right here, it's gone up quite a bit. I know it did top, I think, in Worlds. So you've seen, like, right here, the price increase. It's gone up quite a bit. Yeah, there's a couple copies. Yeah, a lot of copies, so I don't see it going up tremendously more, but it's still a pricey card for the Lugamon. And then if we go Lugarmon, see if we can find him here, right there. I paid less for this, so I feel good about that. I paid less for my copies of these, $42. Of course, yeah, you get a few copies there. Still, again, a lot of copies, so not going to go up much more than this, but still quite expensive comparatively to when it started out. So yeah. And then good old Fenry. Fenry's even started to see a little bit of a climb right here, but not as much as his glory days of being like $30 to $40. But could see, like, again, if the deck does good, it could see you got so many copies, so you don't have to really worry about a buyout right away. So again, could be the right time to buy. EG, lots of copies of EG. EG's only around $25. This card was like 40, or this is one of the best cards in the set when it came out to pull. $50 off the cuff, 50, 55. So if this got a price hike again, you might be shooting yourself for not buying. We got the Gold Rapidmon. Gold Rapidmon has seen a decline. Still really expensive. I mean, to $250 still, down from $350, so that's nice, but still expensive. And it's got a couple listings here, and then it starts to climb to $265, $280. So it doesn't take long for it to go up there. So yeah. Melga, another deck that could potentially do good. I know it's been hit, but still really great deck. So you got your Melga. It really, right now, definitely is a time to buy Melga, because people are thinking like it's hit, it's not going to be as good. But if it does well, you could see these cards climb again. Right now, $20 for the alt secret, and I believe the other one's like $10. So if you're getting the regular art, it's nothing. So that's really good. And then Gabumon. Gabumon's kind of stayed around that $20 mark for like long time here. Like, he had his high of 30, but now he's kind of fishing around. But again, start buying some listings, and he's up around $24. So $24, $25. Matashita, probably like the Gabumon. This one's important because you probably need 3 or 4 copies of it in your deck. So it's declined quite a bit, and continue to see that decline. So we're gonna just say that's all we're gonna say about that. But yeah, it could. It's again lots of listings, but if people start buying these, you need 4 copies. They could go up. So I definitely think probably right now is the time to buy. Might not be the time to sell until after the tournament. See what happens. D-Brigade's another good one. Brigademon, he's $20. That's not too bad for the alt. It's consistently gone down. Satsuki, high on the high end. She's kind of maintained a steady balance right here around this, $40 to $42 mark. Again, if the deck does good, I could see that changing. I could see that going up. There's tons of listings, so it'd take a little bit. But again, you do play at least 3 copies of this in the deck, so yeah, it is pretty pricey. I just don't see her moving too much from this. She's such a good card. Just like EG, although it's funny, EG's not 40 anymore, but she is. Commandramon, he's kind of been in that $30 to $20 range for a while now, so I don't see him moving too much. Again, we could go up to 25, 26 if some of these start to get bought out. And again, like I said, this is a deck that's probably going to do well. Anubismon. I don't think Anubismon's going to change. I think it's going to stay at $5. Even if Levia does good with like one Anubis in it, I think, it's going to stay right there. Right there in that $5 range. You only need one, so it's not going to move. We have Flamemon. Flamemon has apparently dropped. Apparently it dropped all the way down to from originally it was the $34, $35, which basically paid for your tournament entry pretty much. And then you got your event packs, and it looks like it dropped down to about 25, but has come back up to 30. So this is kind of drastic, change. Somebody sold it for cheap, and then somebody else, no, it's not worth. It's worth still more than that. So it's sitting at 30. So we've lost a little bit of value within a week or so since I did my last video on this. I expect to see it drop again as soon as we get more copies out there. So we gotta wait till the next Ultimate Cup, and I think it'll drop again. We'll see a drop there. Maybe another $5 drop, maybe more. We'll have to take a look. But will go down. It's just limited copies, and that's the same for all of this. Although we have seen a drastic drop, in the Gunimon. Like I said, I think this card's going to lose the most value, as it's kind of hovering around the $60 mark. When it's already lost $20 worth of value because you have that other alt Gunimon from the championships that is a lot cheaper. This one I don't think it'll hold the same value. And it's not. You can see that in the thing. And then again, there's multiple, there's only a few listings, so if you wanted to force a buyout, you could hike the prices back to 100. But I think people are going to go for the other one. There's tons of copies of this, and as soon as a couple of them get bought up, it's back up $35, $40. So again, we just need more copies. Burning Greymon. He had a bit of a sharp decline here. 170, all the way down to 160. Last one sold for 120, although 200 in the other one, so you got to kind of balance that out. So it's kind of sitting into that 150, 160 range. It's I think it'll again, this is top 64, so we need more copies out there. Once we get more copies, as you can see, 160, 180, 250, it will come down to something more reasonable. So I would not recommend buying this right now unless you want to force a buyout, and hoping people will buy this. And of course, this is a great deck too. So there's that. Always super tournament efficient. Aldemon, it's just been staying flat. This is what I'm surprised with. This card is kind of useless because no one plays this card in the deck. So I was expecting to see this plummet, but staying at the 160 range. Again, it is top 32, so limited amount of copies here. And somebody is freaking nuts. Completely freaking nuts. For this card that nobody plays. And then of course we have the Emperor Greymon. It's sold for $650, and they're just giving data. The data is still, there's only 8 copies out there. Unless they had another Ultimate Cup somewhere else. But and still, if they did, it would have been recent, and they probably wouldn't have got their prizes yet. So still looking at $650, but it's coming up at $2,000 because of the lack of sales data. So there's that. I think this card will maintain pretty good value. It is a top 8 prize. You're not going to see it have a ton of copies out there, but it'll just depend on how many Ultimate Cups we get before they change it. But I think that they're planning on changing the pricing halfway through the year, unless they're just planning on changing the event pack. They specifically said that, you know, this is the Ultimate Cup from February to August. So if it's February to August, we might see another Ultimate Cup in June, July. But after that, you know, it might change up the pricing. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, hopefully I can do good and get some better cards, but we'll see what happens. But that is it, guys. That is the market analysis. Tell me what you guys think. Are you guys still finding this to be a good source of information? Do you plan on playing any one of these decks that we looked at? If you're, you know, it's a lot cheaper if you're not doing the alt arts. I just like to show off the alt arts because people like to hollow out their deck, especially ones that they take to tournaments, and they kind of show you the mass value of the deck. So things that you can sell to make money to people who want to upgrade their deck, as well as things you can do to upgrade your deck and choices that you can make to buy at the right time. There's a lot of things, you know, they're all kind of things are staying pretty balanced right now. I mean, other than the Melgramon, that stuff's tanked a lot. Sorry, Melgarumon stuff, that stuff's tanked. But everything else is kind of holding steady, waiting to see what happens. So we will see what happens this tomorrow on the regionals. I can't remember who's doing the regionals, but we will see what's going to happen with everything. So thank you guys for checking out this video. Looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Appreciate you tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. As always, have a wonderful day, and that's all for now, folks.